You guys, burnout is a real deal that affects so many people.
It is, but luckily there is so much you can do about it. Listen to this episode to get tips and tricks on how to battle burnout. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Why Are You Worried About It? I am Lindsay Bush, the HR director with Country Crossroads Counseling.
And hey, everybody, it's Susie Arbo. I'm a licensed professional counselor. We're so excited to be on this journey. Lindsay, we keep hearing like the best things. Like the other
I know.
day, we had one of our friends, and she actually works with us here at Country Crossroads, but she said that she listens to our podcast all the time and she feels like the topics, like she feels closer to us because she listens and it's helping her and she feels connected. And so that's pretty cool to hear that stuff.
It's
We
very
appreciate you guys
cool.
listening.
Yes, thank you so much. And please always give us the feedback. We want to hear it good, bad, ugly, all the things. We love being on this journey together, being real with you. I know a lot of times the topics that we even bring up are what's really going
Mhm.
on in our lives. Like what is happening that we need to talk about, get through. And so it really makes it relatable. It's this, I know I've enjoyed it so much. So we really love the feedback from everybody and letting us know what they like and what they don't and all those things.
Yes, yes. People always say, like, well, I'm only one person. What can I do about mental health? Like, how can I make a difference? And I would just say, even just a simple like or share, you know what I mean, about anything mental health related on Facebook. Just kind of letting people know that there's resources out there. This podcast, we try to make it really real, kind of what's going on in people's lives and what's going on in our lives, and what helps us, and we know that it can help others too. So that's why we do it and we love it so much. Today, I'm really excited about our topic because this has been a pretty hot topic. I've been speaking on it a lot. I know just this week, a couple times, I've talked about it with different companies, but it's about finding a balance and really battling burnout, like going, you know what I mean, like finding that balance and knowing that burnout doesn't have to be an end all be all,
Mhm.
that it's actually very treatable. And there's a lot of things you can actually do for it. You don't just have to like burn out and give up and you quit your job or
Yeah.
whatever. Like there's things you can do.
Yeah. No, I think it's a really good topic. I know it kind of came about. I know that I've listened to you speak on it before and after COVID, like that was kind of the big, you talk about the great resignation and stuff and
Mhm.
it hits home for me because I quit. I worked at the hospital for 14 years and I was like, this isn't it. This is not what I want for myself. And I don't know if it was burnout, I don't know what it was, but I definitely decided I needed to do a different path. But I think there's more to it. I think it's being passionate about whatever you're doing. I think it
Yes.
really makes a
Yep.
difference. Like, and there are different ways to figure that out too, because sometimes your job might be a little more monotonous or might be something, but there's a reason that you're doing that job and there's a greater good. There's a piece of the puzzle. Like, there's so many things. And sometimes when you forget about it and you just think about the monotony of every day, it gets exhausting and it gets tiring and then you lose that passion. But maybe it's you want to plan a trip every year. And so you're going to work hard and do all those things because you want to go on a vacation or something. Like that's enough passion, to get you through it and get you going to work. So there's lots of different ways to kind of switch your mindset about it. And I know you're about to hopefully tell us all the good things.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I'm so glad you brought up purpose. And that's actually one of our Country Crossroads words this year. We always pick two words this year. It's purpose and it's impact. So those are the words that we're really working on. And when people do feel, like they go back to the why of what they do with their job and how it's maybe making an impact or making a difference in not only their life, but the people, that they touch, like whether it be their coworkers, whether it be they're working in a manufacturing place and they are developing product that this world needs, whether you're in a school and you're educating people, whether you are a therapist, a doctor, a car mechanic, whatever role you have, remembering that why is so important. But I was just going to share with you guys. So it's interesting. There was a study done not too long ago, actually, that showed that 77% of people feel unable or just unable to keep up with life's demands. They feel overwhelmed. They feel, really stressed. Americans are more stressed than any other people in the world, actually. And 7 out of 10 people in this world right now and say that they are overly stressed. And so burnout really comes from being really stressed out and then letting that consume you, right? You know what I mean? Just letting everything kind of come onto you and then not managing the stress,
Mhm.
right? And so today we're just going to talk a little bit about stress and just how important it is to manage it. There's things you can do about it, and then also just some tips for creating some boundaries, and kind of working through that burnout.
That's awesome. It's going to be good. I think I'm going to need to hear this today. It's a good one.
I do too. It's good for everybody. It's really
It
good for
really is.
everybody. So one of the biggest things that I always talk about to people is setting your clear priorities. So focusing on what really matters to you,
Mhm.
right? And having your values drive you in life. So if you are, let's say, in a helping profession, and that is this so important to you, or let's pretend maybe your family is number one. That's a very popular one for a lot of people, or God, or your religion, that kind of thing. So really having those priorities in place, and then learning how to say no to the other things that kind of creep in, and really spend your time in line with what really matters to you.
Mhm.
And that one is just so important. Saying no without guilt,
Yeah.
right? Just saying, you know what, I can't be on this committee, or I can't do this because, right now in my life, I'm really focusing on, whatever I'm doing in
Mhm.
this moment, right?
Yeah, and that
And
makes
then
me think of the not sorry, but it
oh,
made
go.
me think of, remember when we did that, we did a Bible study not long ago, and she talked about it, and I can't remember, you have such a good memory, but some of the powerful words she said that I'll probably never forget is when you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. So it is a choice. Anytime you're deciding to do that extra thing or whatever, even if it's out of the goodness of your heart, you have to realize what you're sacrificing, and is that really in line with your values? And I know that that's just one that's always stuck with me. When you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, and with that, I feel like not overcommitting,
mhm.
right? There's only so many minutes in the day. There's 1,440 minutes in a day, right? So making those minutes count, and not overcommitting is huge. So another thing that you can do that is really helpful when you're battling burnout is separating your work from your personal life, and making sure that you are doing things, you know what I mean, that fill you up, that charge you up. We've talked a lot about on here about our internal batteries. And so, like you mentioned, a trip, right? Like, so for a lot of people, that is a nice reset, right? They can go, they can have that trip, they can, and then come back and kind of feel recharged, that kind of thing. But then also, even just like, when you're in your car driving home, thinking just about that transition, right? To say, okay, I had a big day today. My day was, good or bad or whatever it was, but you know what? I had that day, and I'm going to think about my transition into coming home to my family, right? Or walking in that door, and really kind of being clear about that. And then and so many times, Lindsay, we like roll one thing into another. And for me and you, and I know too, we love our jobs so much that like we talk about it when we're not working, we talk about when
Yeah.
we're working, and that kind of thing. But it is good. It's good to do other things, like
Mhm.
like today I just got done with my workout. You know what I mean? Like that is unwork related, and I love that workout, and it recharges me. It makes me feel better, right?
Yeah.
So finding some of those things too that you really find joy in, whether it's a
Mhm.
hobby, and then making time for that hobby, if that's something. I know a lot of people, they put those things on the back burner, but that's actually a form of self-care, is doing things that you love.
Mhm. I think it's really important, and I love that you said about that, like transitioning, because it is really important. And you're right. I want to work all the time. Like I'll whip my computer out at a volleyball
Mhm.
tournament with my daughter, like those kind of things. And I think that's good and it's healthy when you love what you do. But at the same time, who do you want to show up as? Like,
Mhm.
and it's making me think of that. Like, is that bothering my daughter that I'm setting on my computer maybe and not, talking to other parents or doing whatever? So maybe just kind of being more cognizant of what that looks like when to those people around you when you do walk through the door at home. Who do you want to show up?
Mhm.
Who do you want to be?
Yep.
And that's really important.
Yeah, yep. And even transitioning into like meetings, right?
Hmm.
Like going into that meeting, being intentional. I know like yesterday I had a really important meeting with somebody, and it meant a lot to me. And so I had prepared with notes, right? And I had, several things, and was walking down the hall and whatnot to get ready for that. And I wanted to show up and be present in that moment. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? And be there looking that person in the eyes, and then, going through my notes and talking and having a heart to heart and stuff. So
Yep.
that transition can be really important. And actually, that comes from Brendan Burchard, if anybody follows him and loves him. But he wrote The 6 Habits to Growth, and I absolutely love that book. But I follow him, and he talks a lot about the importance of transitions. And
Hmm.
in life, we literally just go through the motions. We go through one thing to the next and stuff. So that can be really good when you're intentional.
Mhm.
Another tip to burnout, battling burnout, is protecting your energy, not just your calendar. And Lindsay and I talk a lot about time management. We're very passionate about time management. So scheduling things like even rest, you guys. I know that sounds so funny, but putting that in your planner as far as, you know what, I'm gonna have, let's say, downtime, or I'm gonna take a real break, not just like a scroll break.
Mhm.
And so a lot of times people, they use escapism. That's another topic we're going to talk about one day, Lindsay.
Oh
But
boy.
what they do is maybe they get a 15-minute break from work, and what do? They get out their phone, right? And then they just start scrolling on social media. And then is that really a break? You know what I mean? Instead, maybe go for a walk, get
Mhm.
outside, do nature, that kind of thing. It's amazing how much that can refuel you
Mhm.
rather than just escape into something that's unhealthy or negative to you.
Yeah, it's going to send your mind on a different kind of spiral. And then how hard is it to kind of get back, reset and recharge and then come back and be ready to do it. And I'm guilty of it all the time. We all know I love my phone and all those things, but getting up, going out, especially on days like today, guys, it's beautiful here. I don't know where you're listening from, but we don't get a lot of those in February in Missouri. So take advantage of it. Go outside, stretch your legs, take your dogs out.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that is another tip too, is just moving your body. Whatever that looks like for you. Movement is so important and can really just reset and fuel you. Also just something like as simple and easy as like a little mental health check-in for burnout is, how am I really doing?
Mhm.
Right? To so many people we say, when somebody says, "How are you doing?" What do you say, Lindsay?
Oh, fine. I always say I'm living the dream. Living the dream.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, you really are, by the way. But
Well, for sure. Some of these.
um, no, but we do. We're programmed to say I'm fine. And when you
Yep.
actually take a minute to think about, how are you really feeling? You know what I mean? How are you really doing inside? And being self-aware, right?
Mhm.
Of like saying, okay, I am experiencing some symptoms of burnout. I am feeling overwhelmed all the time. I am feeling whatever. And then recognizing that, right? And sitting in that kind of, but then doing something about it is so crucial.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that mental health kind of check in.
I think that's important. And then don't be afraid to talk to somebody about it, especially if you're feeling that way at work and maybe you love your job, but you're just kind of in a rut and going through it.
Yes.
Find that person, especially hopefully you have a good manager or a leader or somebody that you can talk to and just say, "Hey, I'm really going through it right now." Not necessarily asking for grace, but just trying to find that passion. And hopefully if you are a leader and you're listening to this, you can start picking up on signs of people
Yes.
that are going through it too, and really set down. And I know Susie talked about the important meeting yesterday, and you're getting ready to have a lot of meetings with our staff, just checking on them. Life is crazy, life is hard, and if you've got a lot of stuff going on in your life, guarantee everybody else on your team does too. So just
Mhm.
take that moment, really be in the room with them, feel their energy. I mean, we love our podcast, we love the virtual stuff, but there's something about taking the moment to sit with people and really be with them,
Mhm.
feel them. They might open up to you, and you might be able to work through a lot of things you didn't even know was going on, because people do. When you
Exactly.
talk to them every day, it's, yeah, everything's fine until it's not, and then you're like, whoa,
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah,
what? How did I
exactly.
ask you every day how you are, and you never said anything? And it's like, well, like anybody's gonna pour their heart out to you in a coffee talk, and in the break room, like that's not where it's gonna happen. So be intentional with those meetings, especially if you're feeling people off. And I know Susie's amazing at Country Crossroads, and we'll talk about it. We're like, you know what, something's just kind of red
Hmm.
flags. We want to check on somebody, and 9 times out of 10 there is something going on,
Yep.
and we just had to ask, and then it's taken care of, and then we're
Hmm.
not having to do the exit interviews because we all
Uh-huh.
know we'd rather do the stay interviews, guys, not those exit interviews. So
Yes. Yep. I love that you brought up, if you are a leader, and even if you're a leader of your family, right? Or
mhm.
you have a friend group or whatever, and you feel somebody be off, it is one of our best coping skills to talk about what's bothering us, right? Rather than shove it under the rug. But then also that other person, like it's such a protective factor when that other person feels valued, they feel heard.
Mhm.
They know that somebody cares about them. The average person, there's like 70, it's like 70 some percent of people have worked a job where they never heard a thank you, or they
Mhm.
never heard, they're appreciated or they're valued or they want to hear their opinion. So that goes a long way. With just
Yeah.
even preventing burnout too, is just having those conversations and say, you know what? Okay, is there a way that we can shake up your job, or is there a way that we can do some alternative things, or what do we need to do for you? Do you need some time off? That kind of thing for your
Yeah.
your mental and emotional health, like that kind of thing. Another tip that I get really passionate when I talk about this, because it's something that I struggle with and I'm really working on every day, but it's just giving yourself grace.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Just
Hard.
like you are enough, you are doing enough, you know what I mean? You're a good human. You make mistakes, you're not perfect, and that's okay. Right? And so really just acknowledging the fact that we don't have to have it all together,
Mm-mm.
right? And give yourself some grace that hey, there's going to be stuff that happens, right? There's
Yep.
going to be things that go on in life. We
Yep. And
call them
speak it into
gifts.
truth. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We got lots of
Mm-hmm.
gifts. It's
Mm-hmm.
Christmas all the
Yeah.
time. But I think
Yes.
it's really important to speak those into truth too. Like sometimes you feel like you're lying to yourself, or like it's okay. Your self-talk should be positive. It should be the
Yes.
good things. I had to tell myself yesterday, somebody was asking me how I dealt with something, and I said, because I remind myself all the time, I am a baddie. I'm a strong, independent woman. Not really, but I'm trying, and I'm going to every day keep trying, and I'm going to keep telling myself that every day because I have two kids to show up for. I have a job that I love, and all these things are amazing. It's really easy to go down that spiral of, oh, I'm not good enough, right? You know, what, why am I doing this? But when you get in that headspace, it really, the only person that can get you out of it is you. And it's
Yes.
how you talk to yourself and the work you put into it. So definitely don't, if you feel yourself spiraling and doing those things, try to find what's something that you can do to pull yourself out of it.
I love that. I love that. And that's another big thing of burnout too is the reframe. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? The voice, the one voice we hear more than anybody else's in this whole entire world is your own. So
Yep,
that voice better be kind to you. You know,
exactly.
and you got to redirect it. It's like 3,000 times. You have to
Yeah.
redirect the thoughts until it finally starts to stick. So, do it a couple times a day. But that's going to be actually you guys' this call to action is I want you to kind of evaluate where you are on that burnout level. Like, are you feeling it? Are you whatever? Because I guarantee you, like, we need you doing what you are doing in this world. Like your work, whatever line of work you are in, or your job, or your role as a mom, or what dad, or whatever you are, we need you, and we need you to feel good and to be happy and healthy for a long time. And so just knowing where you're at, doing something if you're feeling those signs or those symptoms, and then reframing and giving yourself a positive bit of grace every single day. So what's an affirmation? I love Lindsay yours that I'm a baddie. That's so
I'm
fun.
a baddie.
Yeah, I love
I'm a
it. A
baddie.
strong,
I can do
independent
it. I
woman.
can
That's what
do
you say.
hard things. That's what I said.
Yes.
Exactly. I said I'm a baddie and I can do hard things.
I love that. I love that so much. Yes, and I've kind of been on this thing lately where I've really been thinking about kind of life and where I'm at and everything. And so I've been giving myself a lot of like just Susie, you are doing enough. You're making an impact. You're making a
Hmm.
difference. You're good. And
Every
you're
day.
enough. And that's kind of been my little positive affirmation lately. And so we hope that you guys come up with some good affirmations, and every time your thoughts go negative, reframe that into a better one, and life will be better. Life will be awesome for you. So
Yeah. No, that was a good one. Thank you so much. And thank you guys for listening. We definitely love hearing all your feedback. That's what we talked about earlier. We love guests on the show. I know we're going to meet and we're going to line up some really good guests we
good.
have. We're going to do another live
Yes.
Q&A, which I know that went over really, really well. And it was so much fun. So be watching. If you haven't already, please like, follow, share. We totally appreciate that. Our true goal is really just to help people. And the best way we can help people is through you. Like if you're here listening,
Yes.
you're already doing the work. Like, and how important and cool is it if you could share this with somebody else? And there's tons of other ones out there too, but we appreciate it. Follow us on Facebook, Country Crossroads Counseling. That's where all our events and all those kind of things will be. And then if you ever need us, find us on our website, countrycrossroadscounseling.com.
We love you guys, and we're so glad to be on this journey with you.